Welcome to Women Leaders, Secrets to Success. Joining us from Dallas, Texas today is Erin Medina. Erin is the Chief Operating Officer of the Sting Soccer Organization. Erin, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell everybody about the Sting Soccer Organization?
Yeah, so Sting originally was founded in 1973 and was the largest, is the oldest all-female soccer club in the country. As of just 2 years ago, we founded boys in 2007, combined them all under the Sting name. And so Sting here in the North Texas market really has been pioneers on the women's soccer side of things. But as the club has grown and developed, is really leaders on the national platform in terms of, all of the youth soccer side, both boys and girls.
So that I know that's interesting that you started as females only and then moved to the boys, as you say. It's a super successful soccer organization. What do you think, other than that uniqueness, what do you think makes the organization itself so successful?
I think our unique history is first and foremost, what we kind of grow, and it's our foundation on which we've built the club. Sting was the first U.S. women's national team. And so it really just has this tremendous, rich history in terms of really unprecedented success over time. In more recent years, Sting has also been extremely successful on the national scene. We won a coveted national championship in the Elite Clubs National League and overall club national championship. So the quality of what we've been able to put forward year over year has just been tremendous. Now we're starting to see that on our boys side also. And so we've got this great program that it's for all skill levels, all ages, but at the very highest levels, we're doing things across the country that many of the, clubs nationwide are just not able to put that kind of quality forward. So I would say first, quality, and second, I think our mission makes us a little bit unique also. We firmly believe in the education of life through soccer. Most of our staff are products of that, and really feel like team sports is a great teacher, and those life lessons through the game are absolutely invaluable because our players are going to hang up their cleats, and you see our Sting players are now ruling the boardrooms and, master's degrees and extremely successful young individuals. And so that's really what our program is in place for, is to set our kids up for success a lot later in life.
I couldn't agree with that more. I was a tennis player and I saw that myself. I think the lesson that you learn from playing sports and being part of a team are absolutely invaluable. I know you played soccer at a very high level. You played all over the world. And so what are the best lessons that you've learned from being on a team and leading a team yourself?
I think the first is maybe just that the discipline side of things. When you think about it, most kids have a lot on their plates with school and activities, but when you're playing at a very high level, it was on the Canadian national team for many years, and even through college at the collegiate level when you're playing, it's a full-time job. You're training, the effort, the investment. And so I think it's just that work ethic, that discipline, because, while my friends were out getting to maybe go to a party or, going to a movie, I was in the gym or I was at soccer. And that investment is something that's so rewarding over time because you see what you really reap the rewards from your hard work. And so I got experiences that my friends didn't get. I got to travel the world. I, experienced so many different cultures. And so there's trade-offs to everything. But I think the biggest thing is just that hard work, that work ethic, the discipline, and then just understanding and seeing the results of all the efforts that you're putting in and day out.
I agree with that as well. I found that to be true for myself. I missed out on parties, but the work ethic that was instilled with me in playing the tennis and managing school and the tennis team, there's no substitute for that. It definitely prepares you. So let's talk about your career a little bit. What was the trajectory of your career? How did you become COO of a big organization?
So originally started in marketing and at the time when I joined Sting, and so that was back in 2007, we were very, very small. We had 12 teams in one division in the Richardson area in Dallas. And we've really, a handful of us poured our blood, sweat, and tears into really bringing this program to so many different young lives. And so I started in marketing and, just as it grew, started to kind of work my way up in terms of really I was the behind the scenes of everything. And people don't really relate business to youth soccer, but certainly in, our space in the North Texas market and really nationwide, that has changed. And so we have a large full-time administrative staff that isn't necessarily characteristic of most soccer clubs. And it's also what's helped make us so successful over time is we've got this massive infrastructure behind everything that's going on out on the soccer field. And so we're able to acquire facilities and bring our programs into different communities in different markets in different areas all over the country. And so for me, career wise, it really was a passion project. And I think anytime that you do something that you love, naturally you're going to kind of rise in the ranks because you're passionate about what you're doing, you care about what you're doing, and that translates into your work.
That's interesting you say that. That comes up a lot in my interviews of why people are successful. They find that passionate, something that they're passionate in. So that answers that next question I had, what made you successful? So let's talk about the advice you've gotten. What's the best piece of advice your mom has ever given you?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Because there's, it's kind of daily advice but I think the one thing as, you kind of grow into your career path and you have a family and you have all these different things that you're juggling is, that self-care side of things and to take time for yourself and find ways where even if it's just a few minutes a day where you can, gather yourself. She was always very much that way. And then I think the second thing that, she's instilled in me over the years is to always be kind. I think we live in a world where sometimes you can get lost in the hustle and the bustle. And so just to take the time out to be kind and do things for the right reasons. So that would be, I think, the two big things that came from her.
I love that. Well, last question, real quick, is we've had an unprecedented year with COVID, so you've been working at home probably part of the time, and I know you have children. So how did you balance raising your kids and working at home? Did you set any kind of boundaries at home? How did you manage this last year?
We're a soccer family. And so to say that we have boundaries with our work to our play to, really our daily lives, I don't know that we really have too much of that because, our business is also about family. And that's why I love Sting. My kids are going out to the soccer fields to see dad on the weekend because he's got to be out there or I've got to be out at different things. And my kids are just a part of that process. And so it's a very family oriented business. We're fortunate for that because we can incorporate our family into a lot of what we do. In terms of the working from home side, we are on our phones a whole lot. And I think people just get to an understanding that there's going to be background noise and maybe a Spider-Man streaking in the background on a Zoom call. And that's just kind of the funny part of life that we've all had to experience. But I also think that it brings people closer together when you share a little bit of that personal side of yourself through your work. And that's why, frankly, I love the company that we have because it is so much about family within our coaching staff and within even the teams themselves and the organization as a whole. And so for us, it was pretty seamless. I would say that we enjoyed our quiet time whenever we could get it, but it's been an interesting year and we're glad to kind of see things turning the corner and starting to get to more normal.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you, Erin, for joining us. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to lend your thoughts and insights. It's been great. Thank you. If you'd like to learn more about Erin Medina and her amazing work with Sting Soccer, you can go to iwantabuzz.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.